Handling disappointment. Life is full of disappointment. It seems like we are just flowing through life. Things are going well. Things are going exactly the way we plan. We want to feel happy, so we reach for happiness. And then inevitably, we reach disappointment. There comes that wave. There comes that moment of being tested. That moment of almost an alarm being sounded. And it really is just ourselves calling for strength. Today, I have a special guest, my partner, my final call, my Jacksony. She has seen me go through a lot of disappointment, and as I think about what we are reverse engineering and manifesting, it is a space of strength, and I thought that it would be good to have her on today's episode where I speak about handling disappointment. Because as I spoke in yesterday's episode, it is good to have people you can count on in moments of unexpected disaster. And if there's anyone that can bring a little perspective to this conversation, it's definitely her. Handling disappointment is something that we can all plan for, but it takes a certain level of surrender because it, as much as you can plan, the answers can only really come to us in the moment if we relax. And the principles can be applied, but the outcome is still super, super unexpected. As you guys know, if you've been watching and following along, this channel is very much so about equipping you with practical skills to take it from moment to moment. You also know that we have faced a bit of a disaster, a bit of a period of being tested over the last few months. And so we'd like to take this time and share with you how we've overcome disaster and how we have found stability and found strength in moments of just pure chaos. Life is a beautiful thing, and in that beauty, it invites us to be beautiful in our own ways by taking a look at what can feel evil and finding the beauty inside of it as well. When I first met Jackson, I think that my life was in a bit of a state of chaos, and I think that she had the strength to see beauty inside of my reality. And as I continue to stretch my vision onto crazier and crazier things, she continues to, stretch her imagination and stretch her creativity to see more and more opportunity within the chaos and within the disaster. I think from my perspective as a man, as a visionary, as someone that welcomes chaos and welcomes almost like this ignorant optimism, it's, for me, I feel like quite straightforward. I just take it one step at a time, and I just continue to look forward and try to forget about the past. I would like to, invite you and ask you, what do you think has been your position? How do you bring strength into this formula that is my reality? And how would you, make it something that is something practical and that people can understand and apply in their own lives?
Hello, everyone. I feel like the way that I learned to bring strength through disappointment to your life is from how you brought it into my life. I think what you said is very true. It's about having people in your space that you can rely on and trust and, show your heart to, and just feel safe around. It's really about feeling comfortable and safe, because once you feel comfortable and safe with someone, it's hard to not be your authentic self, your true self around them. And that's what happened, I feel like, with us. Is you saw me in those moments where like I just was in despair, and you had the courage and the strength to come in and show me where the beauty was. And so after I saw you do it for me, it was almost like an instinct. It was like I knew I could see the example, and then I was like, well, this is how we're setting the pace for this relationship. I'm going to come in and I'm going to take that step too. And I think that the key there is, if you're facing disappointment and you do have someone that you feel comfortable with, you might need to be the one to take the first step, like Sandy did. I feel like in my perspective, it was Sandy that took the first step to, show up for me when I was feeling those times of disappointment, right? And so maybe that falls upon you. But who's to say that, you're not the one that's supposed to make that first step, and then that you won't inspire the other person to, to show up for you when it's time for, when you're going through disappointment and now you need somebody. So it's all about being courageous enough to take that first step and recognizing that you yourself have, if somebody is able to come into your life and change you and uplift you, then you are capable of the same thing. So that's what I realized when, in that moment. And practically, I think it really comes down to, I feel like I'm more subject to my emotions, and the waves of emotions than you are typically, just because, I feel things very deeply. And so from a woman's perspective, I think that it's really just about allowing yourself to feel the feelings of disappointment. It's not a bad thing to be disappointed. It's just natural. We all have expectations, we all have hopes, and sometimes those things come crashing down around us, and it hurts. It hurts like crazy. And so, give yourself time to feel that pain and feel it deep, let yourself feel it. But the point of it is not to feel it and hold it in. The point is to feel it and let it pass through you. Because if you don't allow it to pass, and I think this happens with a lot of people, they don't allow their emotions to fully pass. And what happens is it just gets stuck. And now you're just stuck in this disappointment feeling. Let it pass through you, and now you transmute it. You take it from what it was to something brand new, and it allows you to be hopeful again and optimistic. I let myself feel sad sometimes, because I know that otherwise I'm just going to be stuck, and it's going to feel like it's stuck in my throat or stuck in my heart. But when I let myself cry, or when I let myself feel angry, but then I acknowledge it and I talk about it, I can bring awareness to it very quickly. I become more in tune with my body, with my emotions that way. And then I take control versus allowing my emotions to take control of me. So I think that practically that's something that, I do to ensure that, disappointment doesn't, ruin things for me and ruin my optimism and ruin, my hope.
So we are jumping between batteries. So I think to that point, if there's anything that I've learned about having Jackson in my life, is that when you invest in, your emotions, when you put in that time and attention to what caused you disappointment in the first place, you can really find strength in the place where you found disappointment. Disappointment is just pain, and pain can be found in different dimensions, whether it be your emotional dimension, your mental dimension, your physical dimension. And so when you pay attention to those things and you pour love and attention into those places, you can actually find strength in places where you found disappointment. I think also too, when you find someone that gives you strength in places of disappointment, it's really important as well to pour love and attention into that person, because especially when you are trying to build a team, when you're trying to build a family, it's something pretty unavoidable from what I've seen. You need that person to work with you. You need a team. You know, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Handling disappointment is something that comes in a lot of different shapes and colors. I think what is inevitably the most important thing is you got to have vision. You have to work every single day with yourself, or if you're lucky enough to have a partner, to refine and to define that vision. What are you working so hard for? What is the point? So that way you can see the progress. So that way you can remind yourself of what you're doing. Um, this episode has really been about finding strength with someone, finding strength in a place of that inevitable disappointment. If you have found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you too could be part of my team and subscribe, leave a like, and maybe if you have anything to say, share a comment. I really do appreciate your time and attention. I'm going to put my effort towards pouring into this as much as I can. So I appreciate you so much for liking this video, for watching this video. I want to remind you, if you made it to this point, that this is a mission that happens with all of us together. So I really, really, again, just want to bring the attention back to what this can turn into if we all work together. And it really is a place of practical problem solving. So thank you again so much for watching this video, for participating in this conversation, and I'll see y'all in the next video.